Welcome back to Five Oaks Farm Stitching. My name is Rachel and this is Flosstube episode number 5. I hope you've all had a really great December so far and you are getting to spend lots of time with friends and family doing all the Christmas fun activities and traditions. We are busy doing those things here as well with our family and chasing kids around, watching sports still. Football season did come to an end for us and we immediately jumped right into wrestling. So we haven't slowed down and now we're heading to wrestling meets and just enjoying a new activity with our seniors. So tomorrow is my daughter's 17th birthday and we'll be busy celebrating her and doing what my family calls the first gift of Christmas. So we have a Christmas stroll in our little town and my dad about 10, 12 years ago, wanted to start a new tradition and we all go to the Christmas stroll and he passes out money to everyone in the family and then we draw names. And so he calls it the first gift of Christmas. And we shop while we're strolling for the person that we got and then we go to dinner and we exchange our gifts. And it's just been so special to do that every year and it's the first Christmas gift we all receive and it's a really good time. So we're looking forward to that. And I have been crafting and stitching and making Christmas gifts, getting a lot of stuff done. Everything is a mess in my craft room because I'm trying to finish some quilts. I'm trying to finish this quilt over here behind me for my son for Christmas. And then I have my daughter's quilt on the long arm. I've been working on that, trying to get it done too. And then I have a really fun sewing quilty gift for my family that I'll share after Christmas because I don't want my sisters to see it if they're watching. So we're gonna jump right in. I have a few things to show you here at the beginning, a pile of whips, and then a lot of really fun plans to share. I just wanted to show you guys another piece that hung in my house when I was little. It actually hung in my dad's house when he was little. I don't know for sure who made it. He thinks either his mom or his aunt. It could have even been a grandparent of my dad's, but they are from Maryland and this is possibly from the 1920s. The only thing I could find online was someone trying to sell a piece that was, I guess, in their family, and they said possibly from the 1920s, but it just says, "To a friend's house, the way is never long." I try to show you guys up close without getting too much of a glare on there, but there's a couple different stitches. I think the flowers are really pretty. And it's kind of faded and the fabric is stained a bit, but what a special piece that's been in my family for so long, and it still hangs in my parents' house, so my mom let me borrow it for the video today to show you guys. And then I just have one finish, nothing fully finished, but one finish right after Thanksgiving. So Primrose Cottage Autumn Alphabet. And I finished this one up, worked on it probably the week of Thanksgiving and got it done. I will probably finish it the same way I did the Christmas alphabet on these cute little wooden boards that I got at Hobby Lobby, and they have a twine hanger at the top. And I have a couple more that go along kind of with this that I'm working on as well. The first one in the whip pile today is another Primrose Cottage Autumn pattern. This is Welcome Autumn. And this was in the same bag as Autumn Alphabet. I really love that yellow and that orange together. I think those are just perfect. Still working on that little gingham at the bottom, but really once I get the pumpkins in, the words will go really quick. And in the same bag, I had just printed this the other day. So this is Hello Autumn. And I will just continue with that same yellow and orange from this one. And I'll add the blue from Autumn Alphabet so they can all tie together and be displayed together next fall. So that'll be fun. I don't know if I'll do pillows or flat folds, but something where they can all be around each other. And then I am obsessed with this one. I printed this as soon as November 1st when Teresa Kogut puts her Patreons out, and I printed it and started it pretty quickly, and it has been the one thing I cannot put down. When I sit down to stitch at night, I want to grab this one every single time and not stitch on anything else. So I have loved it. And another reason I love it, I think, is I have never stitched on fabric Flair, and I ordered a piece, I think from Fat Quarter Shop, and I just love the texture and I love this color. So this is 14 count taupe, and I love it with Teresa Kogut's colors. And so now this is the first Santa I've ever stitched from her, and now I think all of them will need to be stitched on this, at least for my collection of Teresa Kogut Santas. I love how it looks with this, and I just love the feel of this fabric. It's thicker, and I've already ordered some more so I can start some other Christmas projects. But it has been so much fun to stitch, and I cannot wait to add more to it. And I have him in, I showed this bag. I think this is the first bag I made for myself using Unfinished Stitches tutorial to make a vinyl bag. And look at all those pretty colors on my little floss drops with my Christmas scrapbook paper. And this is one of my favorite Christmas fabrics. This is 'Twas by Riley Blake. Next is Advent Calendar by Doreen Jones. I am working away on this one. These are so fun. I knew stitching them up individually like I have been would be a blast, and I absolutely love it. Here's my big double ring, tons of colors, but they're so pretty. I love pulling them out and seeing which one's next. And to make, this is a huge packet. There's, for every design, there's a page with no back stitch, and then the next page you can see all the back stitching. So you can just cross stitch, and then you can go switch to the next page and see where you back stitch, which is so nice. And so then I printed the colors out on a separate page because I was tired of flipping back and forth to see what color I needed. So I just printed the colors separate so that I could easily reference it while I had everything out. And so I'm working on day 4. I've already shown, let me get something. I've already shown this little guy. So day 1 is this adorable reindeer. The little borders are super fun to stitch. And as I mentioned in the last video, he's the one that I just didn't read closely enough, and I used 2 threads for back stitching. So he's a little thick, but he's still so cute. And then day 2, we have Mittens. These are so fun. And the borders, I get excited every time I start a new one because I'm excited to see what the border is going to have. So little ornaments on this one and adorable little mittens. And these are all on 14 count Aida. I just bought a huge roll from Hobby Lobby and cut all of the pieces out ahead of time. Day 3, the ornaments with little Christmas trees in the border. So fun. And then I am working on day 4. I just have the top border done, little stars. And day 4 is going to be an angel. So I am loving these. I know it will take me probably all year working on and off to finish them, but I'm pretty sure I am going to make some type of advent calendar with them at the end that I can add each one every day as like a countdown to Christmas. And so I'll probably make something on wood with magnets, and then I add the day and have something else cute kind of covering each one that you take off when you add the cross stitch piece. So that'll be super fun. And I keep those little guys in this project bag, just snowflakes. There's all of my pieces cut. I think there's probably more than I needed in there. There's probably 30 pieces of fabric in there. I worked a little bit on the Magic of Christmas by Teresa Kogut. This one is just so sweet, all the colors. This is a 14 count Country French Rain by Witchelt. It looks very close to what they used as the called for fabric. And then I am using the called for colors. So this is the first project I've ever stitched that I didn't just use DMC. So this has Weeks Dye Works and some classic color works. And I'm working on the little girl and the little boy. So I just have 2 more kiddos on there and the snowman. I just think that one is so sweet. And then I have that one in my snowman bag. Some fabric that someone passed down to me with that snowflake in there. And then I will show you these. These little scissors come in a 10 pack on Amazon, and I want to say they were $6 for 10 of them, and they are actually very sharp and well made, and they have the little cover so your stuff doesn't get messed up. And so I was so excited to grab 10 of these and be able to have scissors in all of my Christmas projects. Okay, Judith Kirby, Victorian House number 8. So pretty. I cannot wait to get over to that tree. I love that tree. But I started on the other side and just got a little bit more in. I finished the snow and started over here with this like shadowy part of the snow. And then I started the words because y'all know I love words. And this is on 16 count Frost by Bestitch Me. And this is kind of a deceiving pattern because if you see on here, I'm already over to this gray. That means I'm over halfway to the other side, but it seems like in the picture it would be so much larger than that. So this will be fun. I could even turn this into an ornament for my tree. I'm not sure. I have something to show you guys later, so I'll have to decide how I'm gonna finish these, but this one I work slower on, but I do love it. It is also in a snowman bag. Everything's kind of a mess in here. I am slowly working on, when I started cross stitching, the DMC I had was my grandmother's, and I don't think she ever cross stitched. So she used it for maybe embroidery. She never labeled any of her DMC. So everything that I had was just bobbinated, but no number. So I had no idea what colors they were. And then at an estate sale, I got another big box of everything on bobbins, but it was numbered. And so I am going to slowly, as I start using things, get them onto floss drops. I'm loving the floss drops. I love that everything stays nice and straight and not wrinkled. And so that'll be my project for 2026, is slowly getting everything off of the bobbins and everything onto floss drops. And then I asked my husband if for, like, as a Christmas gift for next year, if I could get a pegboard up on the wall in my sewing room so that I can hang all my floss kind of in number order, since it's mostly DMC, and just have it all right there for when I want to kit stuff up, and it'll be cute and all organized. Okay, last 2 whips. We've got Delivering Christmas by Hello from Liz Matthews. Sweet little Santa giant tree, but I love all the little stars in it. And so I've been working on that in December. Kind of got Santa outlined and sometimes do the fill-in, but I've had so much fun moving on to the tree and getting those little stars in there with the lighter green. And so I will just continue to outline that tree and work on the inside so that the tree is done and the stars are done, and then I just can fill in the green. And that'll be a great one to do while, you know, watching a movie with the family. So that's been fun to work on. And I have that one in this reindeer Santa bag. I've been making a lot of these bags. I love how fast you can whip them up. And then there's my little Amazon scissors. And then I have got quite a bit of work done on Christmas Gentleman. I have a big boo-boo to share. I can't believe I did this, but I did not start in the right spot on this fabric. And this was just a piece I had left over, and I knew it would fit had I just started in the right spot, but I did not. And I have almost stitched myself to the end of the fabric, but I'm just going to either, and I don't even know if you can do this, sew a piece of fabric onto the side, or finish it in a way that it can have a, I don't even know, 3/4 of an inch maybe on the edge, but I have got a lot done. It's super fun. Worked on this a lot in November. And so there's this little border that goes around the words, and then there's a border that goes around all the Santas, and that's really fun because I'm working on the green, but then I'll go back and it'll be the red and the white. And so I will probably do all the borders first and then save the Santas for last, because I'm excited about the Santas, and I'll figure out how I can salvage the end of this. I'm so close to the edge. So that's the last stitch that I got to come down. I'll figure it out. It's not the end of the world. And then that one is in this sweet kind of vintagey looking fabric. I got this piece of fabric at a quilt shop in Fredericksburg, Texas. They have one in their little downtown strip. It's like a home decor store, but then if you go through all the home decor to this back giant room, it's an amazing fabric quilting store. So have everything in there. I'm just kidding, kind of like putting the floss on floss drops as I use it, and doing that for a lot of my projects. Speaking of kitting things up, I had quite a few people ask about how I was making the floss drops. So this is not an original idea. I saw on Unfinished Stitches how they made their floss drops and ordered a bunch of the stuff that you needed to make them. Now, since then, I have switched. I originally just bought this very thick cardstock, which is great because it's sturdy and it goes with anything, and was cutting them down. But then when we were at Hobby Lobby, I noticed they had some really thick scrapbook paper. So they have all the assortment of really thin scrapbook paper, like regular paper weight. And then there's a few designs that they have in a really thick, heavy cardstock. And so I bought quite a few sheets of this because this was my favorite. And I have a lot of my Christmas patterns kitted up with this. And I just cut them down. I use this paper cutter. And I cut them down. I like to do 1 inch by 3 inches. And so I just cut them into little rectangles. And then I use this little hole punch. I got it on Amazon. This one is a 1/2 inch. And so I just take this and put it on here. And it pops the hole in there. And I do that on both sides. So I've got the side for the floss and the side for the ring. And bought a bunch of these rings. These are a little bit small for a small project. These are perfect. I do like the bigger ones for the bigger projects because then you can get it all on one ring. Now for my advent calendar, I actually had to use 2 big rings, but these have been so fun. And so I went back and grabbed some spring colors for when I kit things up in the new year. Kind of shiny. Some music notes. And so there's not a huge selection, at least at Hobby Lobby, of the heavy cardstock, but they have a few options, and then you can always use the plain. That works just as well. Okay, now we're going to talk plans. I have a crazy but fun plan for December. that I would like to try. And then I have a plan for January that I am going to share a little bit about because I want to show you some stuff that I'll be doing with it. And so one thing I was thinking about was I really don't have a ton of whips. I know I share a lot of things, but you've seen most of everything I have. And in my very first video, it was basically a whip parade of everything I have worked on because I'm still very new. So total, I don't think I have more than 20 whips. And so accumulating some more is definitely not scary to me. I like having a ton of options. So I was thinking about doing something special for Christmas. My husband, even just a year ago, said, I wish you stitched on more Christmas stuff so we could put that out in the holiday season. And so I am going to do 12 starts of Christmas, like the 12 days of Christmas. Originally, I wanted to do a video a day for 12 days and just show you what I started on that one project. But December is nuts, as it is for probably most people. It's extremely busy as a church worker. It's really busy for a wrestling season, and it's also my daughter's birthday and when we do a lot of really fun special traditions as a family. And so our December is packed. So I had to be realistic and say there's no way you would ever be able to do a video of day between now and December 24th. But what I am going to do is I'm still going to do the 12 starts of Christmas, but I'm going to share every 4 days. So starting 4 days from now, I'll do a video and I'll share my first 4 starts. And so they're all Christmas projects. I have them all kitted up and I tried to use almost everything from my stash, and I think it's mostly ready. I'm so excited. I love all the patterns that I picked. I just went through patterns I already had in my binders, and I will start 4 and share with you what those 4 were, and I cannot wait to do that. And then the other thing I want to do, which I know back to back probably sounds nuts, but I would like to do 26 and 26, and so 26 new starts. And I have a few of those I want to show you today. I haven't started them. I'm not going to start them until January, but I just have some really cool stuff that came in and some cute stories about them. So I wanted to share at least these 3 with you now. And so one of the things is I did decide I'm definitely going to do the tiny towns all together, each pattern just down in a row, all 12, one for every month. So Frosty Tiny Town in January, all the way through Christmas Tiny Town at the bottom. And so I only have one Tiny Town pattern that I already had purchased. So I just have quilted Tiny Town. I don't know which month I'm gonna use quilted, but I went back to the needlework shop in Copper's Cove, I think, and she was so sweet. We picked a fabric for this project, and then she cut it to the right size so that I can have all 12 going down. And so I picked this. It is very long, but it's just a pretty neutral color. Let's see if it says what it is. 16 count Cafe Mocha, and it is 18 by 36. That's what we figured is what I needed. So this is half. I have it folded over in half, and I am so excited. And when you buy fabric from her, you know, she has it all just in really large pieces, and she cuts it to exactly what you need it, what size you need it to be. And then she said with the fabric, you get a discount on the patterns that you're going to use. And so she didn't have all of the tiny towns, but she said if I just went home and made sure that this was the only one that I owned and picked the others that I want to order, that she would give me a discount on ordering those. So I do have to get 11 more tiny town patterns, but I will be counting that as 11 in the 26. So even though it's one project, out of the 26 starts, this will be 12 of the 26, if that makes sense. So I'm excited about this one. And then I know you all have heard about my excitement about getting house number 9 and house number 15. They finally came from Stitch in Time. So I now am the proud owner of both of these patterns. I cannot wait to stitch them. These will be 2 that I start next year as well. I am going to stitch them together. And she actually, when she sent them, she sent an extra sheet that explains how to stitch them together, just like how big it would be total and to connect them and make it look natural. There's like a whole explanation in there that I think Judith Kirby must have done. And then I shared this last time, but I'm going to do these on 16 count Martini by Bestitch Me. So those will go on there, and that will count as 2 patterns in 2026. And then she also sent this little pamphlet with a couple designs, and I love this one. I may have to order that someday. I think that's really pretty, the street scene. And then I don't know if I'll start this one, but it came in my order. I got one more Christmas. So that's just something I wanted to show you guys. That one is adorable too. And then the last one that I'll share, that I'll start in January is actually for my dad, and he picked it out. So I got an email from my mom, and they live a quarter mile down the road, mind you. An email from my mom that said, your dad would like this. So we bought it, and here it is for you to print it. And so my dad and my mom watched these videos, and my dad went on a hunt after he watched and found this pattern that he wants me to stitch for him. And it's very cute because I actually had seen this and wanted to stitch it, but I didn't buy it. And then this was the one my dad found. And so it's called Goostober. It's from the Ukraine. So cute, little fall. Millions of colors. These are just on a ring so that I wouldn't lose them, but quite a few colors in there. And then I'm just gonna do it on this 14 count toast. And one of my kids knew that my dad picked this out, and they said, oh, are you giving that cross stitch project to Pop Pop for Christmas? I was like, no. Maybe next Christmas if I'm lucky, but whew, that is a lot of stitching. But I will love doing that for him, and that'll be one of the 26 that I start in January as well. I'm going to share one more thing about plans and then go into a little pile of haul. So I previously had been using this to keep track of cross stitch projects, and I still probably will use it because I have projects in there that I want to mark as finished and get them off my WIP list. But I purchased the Nap Time Stitchers cross stitch planner for 2026. So look at this. This is all kinds of goodness in here. So this is her 2026 cross stitch planner. I chose the vintage style, and then I also purchased her WIP Go pages, because I might do WIP Go. I've never done that before, and I'm not even honestly 100% positive I know how it works, but I might do that. So I got the WIP Go, and then there's some other, like a Sal tracker, and I added those to it. So I am gonna use this to keep track of all the cross stitch fun in 2026. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. She is on Instagram and then has an Etsy shop, and it's the Nap Time Stitcher. And then I got a few things printed up. This was a free pattern from Sweet Wing Studio that she did at Thanksgiving. I just think that is so cute and would make such a good little bookmark gift. And then this is one I'll definitely end up stitching. Merry and Bright Mice. So cute. If you're not on Primrose Cottage's email list, you're missing out on all the cute free patterns. Printed the Snowman freebie by Erin Elizabeth. And then I bought this little cute felt ornament from Simply Eileen. She does adorable quilting and felt work. You can watch all her crafty goodness on Instagram. And then at our little thrift shop where I've purchased some really great patterns, very cheap, they had this, and I'll show you just a few things from inside, but cross-stitch designs for Christmas. It's very cute, older patterns, but I like this street scene. So I might stitch some stuff from that, and I think I paid $1/4 for it. And then when I was getting my fabric cut, I picked this one up, Little House Needleworks, and it is the Friendship Tree. And then my first My Big Toe pattern. Love that one. All Things Work Together. I can't decide if I'm going to do that with color or just do it in, well, just one color or do it colorful. Like actually, I was thinking I might do the flowers, like different colors, like springtime colors, and then green for the leaves. We'll see. And then I grabbed this off of eBay, and I think it was $5. I was actually looking for something else, but it was $5, and I'll show you some of the patterns I found that I liked out of here. And this is America's Best Cross Stitch. And there were quite a few available. And I don't know exactly how many patterns are in here, but at least 30. At least 30. And then I was so excited at the LNS. They had older punch needle primitive stitcher magazines. So these are 2022, and she had them on discount. And so I picked up the Christmas one. But then if you watched my very first Flosstube, I had Cherry Hill Stitchery's Meet Me in the Pumpkin Patch finished. And a lot of people said, are you gonna do Maple Hollow? And I think I posted that video like the day Cherry Hill Stitchery closed. And I tried to find Maple Hollow somewhere so that I could stitch them side by side. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I missed it by probably like a day. And then I saw this in the basket of clearance magazines. So now I can stitch Maple Hollow. And it'll go really well with my Meet Me in the Pumpkin Patch. The last thing I have to show you today are some bags. And so I have a couple that are finished and a couple that still need binding. But this is the Emmett and Ivy collection. I love this Christmas fabric. Adorable little snowmen. And I have the snowman white on the inside. So cute. Polka dots on the back. Little tag so you can hang what projects in here. So this one will probably get listed today. This one has been in the shop for a while. I love this one. So this one's still available. Quilted on the back, hand bound, cute little butterfly zipper pull. So that one is available on Etsy right now. And then I have 3 that just need to be bound. So they look like this because I will bind them and they will look like this. But we've got cute little piggies with the squiggles because they make me think of a piggy tail. Quilted on the back. And then same thing. I'll hand bind these. And then we've got chickens. I have a few chicken patterns that I have wanted to start that would be so cute to have in this bag. So the piggy bag is a little bit smaller. And then this one is like a step up. And then I have one more of my full-size bags. And this is a fabric called Comfort and Joy. Needs to be bound. but I will probably bind them today and get them listed tomorrow. So those will all be in the Etsy shop. Okay, I think that's everything for today. I will draw the name for the Strawberry Fields Forever pattern on my first 12 Starts a Christmas video. So if you haven't watched the last Flosstube number 4, you can go give it a watch and comment there. And then each day that I do a video for the 12 Starts of Christmas, I will also do another pattern giveaway. And I will see you guys in 4 days. Merry Christmas.